Hello world, welcome, or welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Tuesday, September 24th, 2019, and I'm back today talking about Robert Sylvester Kelly. I'm here actually to talk about this discovery list. Before I talk about this, I want to just do a little bit of a recap. Since his acquittal in 2008 of child pornography charges, that he has since been free and touring and recording and doing all of those things. What he seems to have also continued to do is abuse young girls and young women sexually and physically otherwise, allegedly. In 2017, July specifically, there were allegations of a cult that started to generate again after a long and detailed BuzzFeed report that accused R. Kelly of trapping 6 women in a sex cult. That article alleged that Kelly seduced young women when they approached him for help with their music careers before taking control of their lives, dictating what they eat, how they dress, when they bathe, when they sleep, and how they engage in sexual encounters that he recorded. He also confiscated the women's mobile phones, the report says, barring contact with friends and family. The allegations came from 3 former employees and the parents of several women who said their daughters had all but vanished. Kelly strenuously denies the story, which was written by Jim DeRogatis, who has doggedly covered the allegations against the singer for 2 decades. And we know now that Jim DeRogatis has a whole book that he published this past June with a compilation of all of the things that R. Kelly has been accused of and all of the information that DeRogatis has collected since he was first given that initial videotape that had gotten him arrested and indicted in 2002. All of the women cited in the article, the BuzzFeed article, were of legal age. One later denied claims that she was being held against her will. She said, "I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that." And this was Joycelyn Savage in a call to TMZ, a video call. However, would not reveal where she was speaking from or the nature of her relationship with Kelly. What I read in a different article about this was that there was a woman who came into R. Kelly's life trying to, I guess, help him when these allegations started to surface again. And she claimed that she had ties to the media and she'd be able to squash the stories for him. But what she ended up doing, I guess she had an inside connect to TMZ. So she connected Joycelyn to TMZ. It said that they manipulated the video and said that she was at a mall when in fact she was at Trump Tower. Following the BuzzFeed article in 2017 to 2018, more victims began to approach the press. Of course, R. Kelly denied all of the allegations. In 2018, the hashtag Mute R. Kelly campaign lobbied the record label RCA to sever ties with the singer. They also targeted concert promoters, ticket sellers, and streaming services with Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora, all agreeing to demote Kelly's songs from their playlist, a decision that is later reversed. Around that same time, the star's lawyer, publicist, and personal assistant all quit. Although attorney Linda Minch says her departure was unrelated to any allegations related to his social life, Kelly continued to perform live despite protests outside of his shows and was filmed saying that the campaign against him was too late.
It's too late. They should have did this shit 30 years ago. It's too late. The music has been injected into the world.
Meanwhile, the star was sued by a former partner who said he intentionally infected her with a sexually transmitted disease. A representative for Kelly said he categorically denied all claims and allegations. The star later baited his critics by releasing a song called I Admit, in which he confessed to being sexually unfaithful and documented his own experience of abuse, but denied allegations of pedophilia and operating a sex cult. He's quoted as saying, "Only God can mute me." He's saying defiantly, "Am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion?" So here we are in 2019, and over the course of 6-hour-long episodes, the Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly presented the most comprehensive look at the allegations against the musician. While many of the stories are familiar, the documentary rams home the argument that Kelly was enabled by those around him. "That is the way it was," said his former tour manager, Demetrius Smith. "We worked for him. This is what he wanted, and so this is what we were supposed to give him." 2 weeks after the program broadcasted, Kelly was dropped by his record company. Planned concerts in the U.S. and New Zealand were canceled. In February, now indicted himself, attorney Michael Avenatti says that he has obtained a video showing Kelly having sex with a 14-year-old girl. Weeks later, he is charged in Chicago with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He pled not guilty and defended himself in a histrionic TV interview with Gayle King on CBS This Morning. Prosecutors later filed an additional 11 charges of sexual assault and abuse against a minor between 13 and 16 years old. The charging documents describe sex and oral sex with a minor by the use of force or threat of force. The accuser is thought to be one of the women featured in the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries, who says she met the singer during his 2008 child pornography trial. In July of this year, more sex trafficking charges were filed. He was hit with 2 separate federal indictments in Illinois and in Brooklyn. Combined, the allegations depict an organized effort from the star and his associates to recruit and transport underage girls over state lines for illegal sexual purposes, including the production of child pornography, as well as conspiracy to obstruct justice and by destroying evidence and bribing or threatening witnesses. R. Kelly's lawyer, Steve Greenberg, said in a statement that his client was aware of the investigations and charges were not a surprise. He added that the R&B singer would look forward to his day in court, to the truth coming out, to his vindication from what has been an unprecedented assault by others for their own personal gain. Appearing in court in New York at the start of August, he pleaded not guilty, but was denied bail on the grounds that he posed a flight risk. Days later, prosecutors in Minnesota filed prostitution charges against the star, meaning he faces criminal charges in 3 states. Okay, so that was just basically a recap of everything that has kind of happened up to this point. And I have a discovery list that the federal prosecutors sent to Steve Greenberg, and they sent this by Federal Express as well as electronically through the electronic court database. And it says, regarding the United States v. Robert Sylvester Kelly, criminal docket number 19-286. And the cover letter says, "Dear Mr. Greenberg, enclosed, please find the government's discovery in accordance with Rule 16 of the Federal Rules of the Criminal Procedure. The government also requests reciprocal discovery from the defendant." And the first line is the government's discovery. And underneath that, statements of the defendant's criminal history, and documents and tangible objects. And it says, "Please find enclosed a thumb drive that contains the following items. These items are subject to the terms of the protective order entered by the court on or about August 13, 2019. So what we have is a 10-page document, and it's really just categorized inventory of what's on the thumb drive that was also provided. And so there's a exhibit number on the left side and the description on the right. And so the first page is 1 through 12A, and we have American Airlines records for Robert Kelly on January 21st, 2012, January 23rd, 2012, April 27, 2018, and records for Jane Doe number 4 on 4/29/2015. We also have Delta Airline records for Robert Kelly on December 14th, 2010, April 13th, 2011, and May 4th, 2011. There's business records certification. American Airline records for Jane Doe number 5 on 2/2/18 and 2/4/18. Southwest Airline records for Jane Doe number 4 on August 30th, 2015. Business record certification. Southwest Airline records for Jane Doe number 5 on April 21st, 2017, May 18th, 2017, May 20th, 2017, June 16th, 2017, December 1st, 2017, December 3rd, 2017, January 12th of 2018, and January 14th of 2018. And we have also United Airlines records for Jane Doe number 4 on 9/20/2015, another business record certification. U.S. Airway records for Jane Doe number 4 for May 2015, and then another business record certification. Under that, U.S. Airways flight manifest for May 2015, SunTrust Bank records for Robert Kelly, R. Kelly Publishing Inc., and RSK Enterprises LLC. Wintrust Bank records for Phenomenon Entertainment Worldwide, business record certification. Bank of America records for Milton Brown and RSK Entertainment Worldwide Inc. With that, another business record certification. JP Morgan Chase Bank records for Milton Brown, Robert Kelly, RSK Enterprises LLC, and Daryl McDavid. And 12A under that is the business record certification. So this is just page 2 of this submission to the defense, and it basically, like I said, goes for 10 pages. I'm going to have the link for this discovery in the description box. I'm definitely not going to read through the whole thing here, but I just find it very interesting that it's such a comprehensive list with dates through to 2018. And there are other subcategories underneath item 84, which is the last item listed. Under that item 84, which is Holiday Inn Express North Hollywood records for various individuals. So it looks like a lot of the things listed under number 84 are things that are either still pending, and then they also request reciprocal information. Looks like they want emails, phone records of R. Kelly while he's been incarcerated, between not only him and outside citizens, but also between him and his attorneys. And I do understand that that is fair game. So it will be interesting to know what comes of that. Like I said, I'm going to have a link to this document in the description box. And, you know, he has more court cases coming up. From what I could tell from the last hearing, he has been exonerated from actually attending the next court hearing, or he's waived from actually having to appear. But there are several other matters at hand that need to be dealt with. So, you know, the trial is tentatively going to start April of 2020, but it is a tentative date. And, you know, that depends on the other cases, as well as, I mean, anything can really come up to, you know, kind of disrupt that date. But I don't know that between now and April, there's enough time for, you know, all the discovery to be sorted through, as well as for counter efforts to take place in order to denounce the discovery or the evidence. There also has to be jury selection, which both the prosecution and defense have to weed through potential jurors. And that jury selection is no joke. You got to not only pick the jurors that you want to make sure the ones that you don't want don't end up on the jury. So, yeah, there's a lot to get through. There's a lot coming up for Robert Kelly. And since there's so much on this list, I really want to just take my time and go through it. And I'm going to go live probably Thursday night. I've made Thursday nights kind of my live night. If not Thursday, it will be this weekend, maybe Saturday. But I want to go live after to hopefully talk to you guys about this discovery list and, you know, the other information that was recapped, because there's so much involved with these cases. There's so much, there's mountains and mountains of information to digest, to weed through, and all of that. So hopefully you check out the link, and then when I go live, you can join me in discussing what we found here. So that's going to do it for now. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I appreciate you being here as always. And go ahead and like this video and comment if you have something to say. Make sure it's not disrespectful, otherwise you will be blocked. For some reason, people who know that this channel does not support R. Kelly insist on still coming here to, you know, say their piece, which is not necessary. You know, and I just want to remind you, if you're on the same page as I am with regard to not supporting R. Kelly, muting R. Kelly, you know, this channel is going against the mute R. Kelly, in my opinion, because I'm talking about him, obviously. But I do feel it's necessary to have this type of platform to counter the fans who also have YouTube channels and who are out there spewing very unintelligible information, unfounded information, denying the facts, and, you know, trying to defame the accusers. And, you know, there are also a lot of fans, I won't say a lot, but I would say that, you know, in my opinion, from what I can see when I'm on social media, when I'm just in the world, it seems that most of the world has denounced and muted Robert Sylvester Kelly. Now, there's a handful of people, and in comparison to all of the people who have since denounced R. Kelly, there's a handful of people who still choose to stand for him, to defend him. They're also bullying and harassing accusers online, calling and emailing and writing anybody who will listen, the judges, the attorneys. And really, they don't realize that what they're doing is making him look like even more of a fool and making themselves look ridiculous. So with that being said, I'm going to stay here doing what I'm doing, and we're going to make sure we're here together to see and hear how this thing rolls out. So with all that being said, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you as always. Till next time. Peace.